Welcome to No Compass Moto. We're headed to gonna take a little ride down to Watch Hill, Rhode Island, and check out the lighthouse and see if we can catch a sunset. Um, yeah, I live about 10 minutes from the ocean, so that's kind of nice. So let's go for a little ride, and we'll be there shortly.
going on YouTube? Welcome to No Compass Moto. And tonight we're going to catch the sunset here in Watch Hill, Rhode Island. We're in Watch Hill, Rhode Island. Check out these houses. They're all summer homes. I'd like to say one of these are mine, but it's not. But that house right there, that big white house, some of y'all may know who owns that house. Very famous person. Very famous person that got married last week at Madison Square Garden. Oh yeah, that's Mrs. and Mr. Taylor Swift's summer house. You know Taylor Swift, she got married last weekend. She married the football fella. So rumor was the wedding was going to be here, but apparently not. But they are not there, obviously. But I'll try to get a picture. I'll throw that up. I've taken one down on the beach, driving my car on the beach to get it. But yeah, anyway. So we're not here to see that house. We're here to catch the sunset and a lighthouse out here. The lighthouse is pretty cool. Parking here is, as you can imagine, is pretty restricted. They have security all over, and they sure as heck frown on Harley's coming through here. You imagine that? I get some looks, which I love. I just do laps and rev it up. But anyway, we're going to be at the lighthouse in just a bit. Stand by. I tried to ride the bike here, but the security guard stopped me. All right, I'll check back in at the lighthouse. All right, we're coming down to the lighthouse. It's just gorgeous down here. Look at the lighthouse, not me. That's Watch Hill Harbor coming out of there. There's a car up there. How did that car get by little Skippy security guard? That's what I want to know. There's Taylor's house up there in the light. Yeah, this is cool. Getting ready for the sunset to come down. We'll walk up here to the lighthouse. There's a wedding going on here. Everybody should get married once, twice, 3 times. I mean, I'm not saying, I'm just saying. Here we are on the face of the lighthouse. That's Long Island Sound out there, out to the Atlantic. Now, I don't know if you can see, it's kind of foggy. Straight up there is Block Island, which is an island. Rhode Island is neither a road nor an island, just saying. And Block Island's about, well, from here it's about, I think it's about 12, 13 miles off the coast. But here is the lighthouse. Just cool. Let's see what they say about this lighthouse. Alright. The lighthouse tower, the construction of this Watch Hill Lighthouse Tower began in 1855 and completed in 1856. The combined cost of the tower and the attached keeper's residence was about $8,300. The granite blocks were cut from a westerly quarry. The tower is 45 feet high. The light is at 61 feet above sea level. You see inside the square granite block tower is a circular red brick tower supporting a spiral cast iron staircase that is 36 steps. Here's the keeper's residence. Prior to the hurricane in 1938, there was a square lookout viewing area in the attic, the windows facing all directions. This was damaged during the hurricane and was not replaced. If you remember my last video, I was at the Beavertail Lighthouse and they talked about the 1938 hurricane. And I remember talking about my mom had been through that. Here's the compass. North is that way. This is just awesome. Now, when Mrs. No Compass Moto and we had a boat, we would take our boat out of this harbor and come right across here and go fishing out there. We gotta get her another boat. She loves fishing and boats. We've talked about boats. Boats make me nervous. That water is deep and cold and full of sharks. You can see the light is on. I don't know if you can see it with the sun and being this close, but yeah, the light is definitely on. So I don't know if you can see it from here. Not sure what this building is right here. Let's see what it says here. Don't think you can go in there. That's the museum, and it's probably not open. Let's see what this building is. Oh, this is the fog signal house. Again, prior to Hurricane 1938, it was a 360-degree lookout in the viewing area, and it was gone. What do we have over here? The old lighthouse. Oh, the oil house, constructed in 1900. Building originally used to storage of barrels of oil for the burning signal lamps. Pretty cool. It's just peaceful. This is probably the best. We had the heat wave last week, and then we had about 3 days of torrential rain, so I think today's been the best day. It's been sunny and warm, so a lot of people are getting out. People fishing there. Let's go check out the sunset. I would love to live in a lighthouse. Hurricane or not, I think we discussed that. That'd be pretty wild in a hurricane. This must be security's car. Oh, I see. He must be the officer in charge. Pretty cool. Well, that's the sunset on the ocean right there. That's what I'm talking about. And some of the Watch Hill summer shacks. Yeah, they're just here for the summer. I kid you not. I live here year round. Damn right. But I don't live over there. Alright guys, I'm gonna head back to find Stormtrooper. It's about a quarter-mile walk to get out here from where I parked Stormtrooper. I'll get some shots from there. Alright, thanks for joining me for this little tour of the Watch Hill Lighthouse and catching the sunset. So I talked to the security guard because there were cars down here. See, he's all in it right there. And ain't nothing gonna go on up in here. But apparently if you are 65 or older and handicapped, you can drive down here. So, because at first I was a little ill because I'd leave Stormtrooper way up on the road and walk down here, but apparently if you're 65 or above, you can come down here. And I am not 65, nor am I near 65. Mrs. No Compass Moto may disagree with that statement, but I am not. I might be having a birthday next month, but I assure you it's not in the 60 range. It's pretty damn close, but here we go. Oh, and the security guy said, yeah, you know, with your motorcycle, even if you did, you know, you gotta keep it quiet, you know, because they'll complain. Yeah, that's what I figured. Just based on that, I might have to bring the 2000 Heritage down here with the long shots, Vance and Hines down here. That's what I'm talking about.
So mine was bad because I was unemployed for my 64.
Oh, just amazing. All right, we're gonna pick back up at Stormtrooper and catch the sunset with the bike. So I just got back from a little trip to the lighthouse and checking out the sunset. And Stormtrooper's been infected by the nefarious yellow wrench, which makes Stormtrooper, I guess, 2 years old. I understand from looking at everybody that the 2-year wrench is for the brake fluid, and that Harley has to reset the wrench. So I guess we'll be going to the dealership this week. Yeah, other than that, Stormtrooper's doing pretty good. Now, I did 4th of July, I went for a little ride first thing in the morning, and I had a check engine light come on. 13,500 miles. I've never had a check engine light. It just came on, ran fine. Check engine came on, got home. Checked the codes. There were no codes whatsoever. Turned it back on. The check engine light was on. Shut it off. Let it sit for a while. Got pissed off. Came back. Checked the codes. No codes, and the light was gone. So I'm not sure what happened. You know, when the light comes on, you start. I think you start having some. What's the placebo effect? Because then you start thinking the bike's running funny, you know. And on the way back, I was sitting in traffic, and it seemed like it idled a little rough. So I don't know if that's just my imagination but you do know your bike. I mean, those that ride bikes, you know every sound, every feel. When something's just a little bit off, you know it. So it's going to the dealer for we're pushing about 13,000 miles. It needs to get the service. I changed the oil and everything. They're not going to do that. They're just going to check the other stuff. As you know, we came back from Laconia, and ironically, we went some back roads, and the back roads of some of Massachusetts was absolutely horrendous. And we got back, and this handle here was loose. I had to tighten it. I think it just came loose from just the horrendous roads in Massachusetts and Rhode Island. Let's not count them out. I was really surprised I didn't bend a rim. So if it loosened that up, there's no telling what else it loosened up. So it's about time to go in, get it checked out. I just don't have all the tools to do the other stuff for the service. I mean, I do all the fluids and that, but again, I understand that Harley has to reset that wrench because at 2 years for the brake fluid. So it is what it is. You won't play, you gotta pay. So this week, the hat I'm wearing is from a group, Motorcycle Missions. Some of you may have heard this organization. It's a nonprofit. Very good group. They help veterans and first responders deal with PTS. As probably figured out by some of my videos, I'm a first responder, paramedic, retired firefighter, and all that. Still a paramedic. I'm a chief in the department here in the Northeast. But a pretty good organization. I got to meet them last year at the Harley homecoming at the House of Harley. They had a booth there, and I got talking with them and learned about their mission and all that. And if you remember back then, they actually I was riding, my buddy Leo and I were riding across the country with the Harley homecoming and some other places around the country, and I was doing videos for my guy Chris that had cancer, a Down syndrome young man, and the folks at Motorcycle Missions got in touch with a company and made a video for Chris to inspire him, which was pretty cool. I mean, it was a professional video, amazing, that really lifted Chris's spirits. So this week apparently it was National Paramedics Day, which I find, you know, they have, everybody's got a day, you know, and you always find these days on Facebook or social media, and I'm thinking, well, if I didn't have Facebook, social media, how would I know it was these days? I mean, I'm not talking about Mother's Day, Father's Day, and all that. I'm just talking about all these. Every group has a day. So, but this week, apparently today, I did not know that was National Paramedic Day. So this week on every Tuesday or every week, I believe every day of the week they do it, or weekly they do a different theme for the week. So this week, Motorcycle Missions, I want to put a shout out to you. It was Teal Tuesday. They have their little part of their logo is teal, and I'm just going to read what they wrote, and I really appreciate them acknowledging this and doing this. And today, Teal Tuesday, honoring our paramedics. When someone calls 911, paramedics don't get the luxury of easing into their day. They arrive on the worst day of somebody's life. They perform CPR while family members watch and pray. They work severe trauma on the side of the highways. They deliver heartbreaking news. Had to do that numerous times. Not fun. They make split-second decisions when seconds count. They mean the difference between life and death. Then when the call is over, they're expected to reset and answer the next one. And that's a big deal. I appreciate them acknowledging that. The adrenaline eventually fades, but the memories often don't. The faces, the sounds, the smell of blood, the weight of wondering if they did enough. And if you do this business long enough, you ask those questions. There's certain things that I just don't like. I don't like the smell of blood. Blood has a very distinct smell, obviously, you know, iron and blood, but I don't like the smell of blood. Ironically, I don't like the sound of helicopters. I just don't like the sound of them because I've been around them on bad calls, worked in them, and for some reason the sound of helicopters Just bothers me. The what song is it by Pink Floyd? The beginning of it is the helicopter, and generally if that comes on, and it's really clear in that song, the sound of the helicopter, I'll turn it or do whatever. Further, they say these invisible wounds can accumulate over years of service, contributing to anxiety, depression, burnout, moral injury, and poor traumatic stress. Yet many paramedics continue to carry the burden in silence because they're trained to care for everyone else but themselves. And that is so true in my field. We're subject matter experts at taking care of others, but we suck at taking care of ourselves. And the problem, like with this and other things, what becomes normal to paramedics and first responders is not normal. But the problem is we try to make it normal. And the psyche's not built for that. But we have a job to do. At Motorcycle Missions, we recognize that healing isn't just for the military veterans, first responders, including our paramedics that carry the trauma. They deserve to be acknowledged, understood, and treated with the same compassion they show every single day. The Teal Tuesday, let's remember those who race toward emergencies and the rest of us are running away. So I appreciate Motorcycle Missions writing that. I appreciate that. All right, I may do a video on this on another time. It's the end of the day, and I'm not sure I'm going to get into this topic. It's a pretty heavy topic, as far as PTSD and first responders, and I've unfortunately a few of my very close friends in this business have taken their own lives. Two are my best friends, so it's very close to my heart, dealing with PTSD and what we deal with, and organizations like Motorcycle Missions. It means a lot, and thank you for acknowledging this and being there for the veterans, what they've all been through, and then acknowledging the first responders. So yeah, all right, well, I'm going to wrap it up. I guess I'm going to try to wash Stormtrooper this week. I haven't even washed Stormtrooper since we got back from Laconia. We had incredible heat wave here in the Northeast. It was brutal. It made me feel like I was back in Atlanta. And then we had the monsoon rains were gone, and then we had like 3 days of rain. So today was the first good day. I got out and we rode to check out the lighthouse and the sunset not far from here. So I'll probably try to get her cleaned up. All right, guys, you take it easy and treat each other well, and be safe.
1, 2, 3. 1